All right, so this is a news clip and a story.
What is that?
Must be the chimney sweep.
A chimney sweep? Hey, excuse me, sir. We're just gonna go with Four Winds Chimney.
I don't see how people could sit there and run over somebody like that and not even try to give a hand.
A horrific event turning even more tragic. 3 lives have now been lost in that chaotic stampede at the Main Street Armory, loved ones forced to endure shock and heartbreak. It's a time of sorrow in the loss of 3 women, one from Rochester, another from Buffalo, and today we learned a victim from Syracuse lost her fight for life. Good afternoon, I'm Carla Rogner. The city has now shut down the Armory until further notice as authorities investigate exactly what led to the fatal crowd crush after Sunday's concert. Tonight, the victims' loved ones are sharing their memories. 13 Wham's Chase Howell met with them today. Chase?
Carla, 3 strangers all meeting the same fate Sunday night after a crowd surge following a concert here at the Main Street Armory. Their lives all being remembered by their loved ones.
A crowd surge following a concert at the Main Street Armory in Rochester Sunday night has now left 3 women dead. The victims, 33-year-old Rondisha Belton of Buffalo, 35-year-old Aisha Stevens of Syracuse, and 35-year-old Brandy Miller of Rochester. This video, taken the night of the concert, shows some of the last moments Miller was alive.
All I hear is her smiling and just happy. Like, I can't get over it.
Ebony Hedgebeth and Holly Bigham were at the concert with Miller that night. Hedgebeth says once it ended, the mood went from fun to frightening.
She's like, oh, I'm about to go. I'll see you later. Meet me at the loft. And then she just let my hand go.
That's the last time Hedgebeth would see Miller.
Calling, her phone not answering. Just people started running. It just scared me. So I'm like, I hope she make it out. I get outside. I just started calling her phone. It kept going to voicemail. I couldn't sleep all night.
Bigham says she was 1 foot out the Armory when the crowd started pushing. It was when she was outside she realized Miller was nowhere to be found.
Just keep calling, just to see was she okay. At that time, I wasn't worried, so I was just like, maybe she had a long night. So, she gonna call me because she always called me.
She never called. It would be the next day when her friends and co-workers would learn she was in the hospital, where she would eventually pass away later that night.
I just would prefer her to be here.
While these 4 women may have worked with Miller, they say a sisterhood was born.
She just would give you like the shirt off her back with no problem. She didn't care, like even at work, she'd give people food. She even give the residents something. It's even harder on our residents. They ask about her now.
Brandy was amazing. She was happy. She would have you laughing. She was so many things to us. She really touched my heart.
And just to recap what we learned last night, the chief of police denied the Armory's entertainment license application, halting any type of future events being held at the venue. Reporting live in Rochester, I'm Chase Howell, 13 Wham News.
All right, so we have another article here. So I'm going to do the copyright again. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act from 1976, allowance is made for the fair use such as scholarship, teaching, criticism, and or research. This is a use that is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, so we have an article. Rochester officials shut down Armory after fatal crowd surge. The city of Rochester has revoked the Main Street Armory's entertainment license after 2 women died. As a result, it's now 3 women. This article is a little old, 2 days old. We now know there are 3 women. As a result of the crowd surge that followed Sunday's performance with rapper Glorilla, the Armory It's an early 1900 stone compound on East Main Street owned by Scott Donaldson. It's one of Rochester's largest venues for touring musical acts and conventions. The entertainment license is an annual contract between the Armory and the city officials, which is up for renewal. City officials said they're opting not to renew the license, citing a clause in the stipulation that the venue must maintain good order on the premises. The licenses are issued by Rochester Police Department Chief David Smith. Donaldson had a scheduled meeting with city officials and the police chief on Wednesday. It is now Friday, during which he could have voluntarily ceased operations until the investigation was over. Donaldson didn't show up in response, and in response, Smith issued a letter informing Donaldson that his license would not be renewed. Your contracted event security guards were unable to control the crowd as they were running, which in turn caused a human stampede. The letter from Smith Donaldson reads, shortly after Glorilla's performance, the crowd suddenly rushed towards the Armory's double-door front entryway. It is unclear what caused the initial rush, though rumors of gunshots circulated and the claim that police have been unable to verify. Why does it sound like I'm just reading it in one big sentence? Ranisha Belton, 33, of Buffalo, died as the crowd forced its way through the doors. Brandy Miller, 35, of Rochester, was transported to Strong Memorial Hospital and was in critical condition when she died Monday. And a third victim, I have her name here, Aisha Stevens, died Wednesday. This unidentified, she's now been identified as Aisha Stevens. 7 other concert goers are reported to area hospitals with injuries after the incident. The city's revocation of the Armory's license deals a critical blow to the business. It clears its calendar of all planned events, including concerts, conventions, or sporting events. Earlier this week, the city announced the show from rapper Ace Boogie with the Hoodie, slated for Saturday, would be canceled, and other events have been scheduled to happen at the Armory, including the expo for the 420 Cannabis April 20th event. So they were going to have a weed smoking event. They're not having it no more. Smith said the decision to revoke the license was about protecting people. These are very serious and unique circumstances, Smith said. The bottom line is lives were lost, and we need to take steps to make sure this doesn't happen again in the future. Deputy Corporation Counsel Patrick Beef said the investigation among city agencies is ongoing and will have both criminal and code enforcement elements. He stressed that stripping the Armory of its license is not evidence of culpability in the deaths. We appreciate the public's patience with these investigations as we move forward with them thoroughly and diligently as possible, Beef said. The city is committed to holding the culpable parties responsible for the tragedy and preventing future incidents. The investigation, which includes probes by state agencies, is currently seeking to determine what factors contributed to the incident. Right. So that's what we're going to ask the cards, because there were a few people saying that there was a gunshot. Then there was people saying that a table fell that sounded like a gunshot. There are people that said there was a confetti gun that went off that sounded like a gunshot. And there are people also saying that there was shooting outside and people tried to rush back inside, and then it was the crowds, collided. So the point of this read today is just going to be kind of ask what kicked off the running. And another thing is that I took a few pictures from my Facebook timeline, and they're edited before this video. There are pictures of the crowd from a higher angle. That would be the angle that the people in VIP saw. And also there is a screen grab, a testimonial of a guy who was actually there at the concert that shared his experience on Facebook. So if you want to go back and pause on that part, you'll be able to read what he said about his experience there. And he's a grown man, so think about that when you read it. All right, so let's get to the cards part. All right, I'm Cleopatra Wallace, and as you know, this video is all about the Glorilla concert that was held in Rochester, New York on Sunday, March the 5th, that claimed 3 lives. All right. I'm going to burn myself with incense this morning. Okay. Coffee. All right, spirit guides, holy angels, and ancestors, gather around because we're going right up the street to 900 East Main Street in Rochester, New York. Coffee right here. It's early. I'm still working things out in my brains. Yes, right now it is 8:23 Eastern Time a.m. All right, Spirit. So as I said, we are going right up the street to the Glorilla concert that was here on Sunday, March the 5th. So we are going to start the clock out at 10:30 p.m. The date is March the 5th of 2023. We are at the location of 900 East Main Street in Rochester, New York. The zip code of 14605. The time is between 10:30 p.m. and 12 a.m. So we have an hour and a half window. It's a Sunday. It's pretty cold outside. We're at the Armory. Everyone's getting ready to go inside the doors for the Glorilla concert. I like to start with 4 or more. If the cards fall to the floor, I only take the ones that fall face down. And if too many cards come out, I will take the top and the bottom. All right, now back to the concert. Again, everybody's super excited. Selling VIP tickets all the way up until 7 to 8 o'clock that night. Over 5,000 tickets were sold. And for the first time in a very long time, Rochester had a headliner that showed up while they were in the height of their career. All right. Let's need one more. And everyone was super excited to be there. COVID was over with. And we are ready. All right. It's pretty early in the morning, so usually the cards are super cooperative this early. The spirits are cooperative too. All right. So the first card out is the Judgment card. And as you can see, straight out the gate, somebody is already on the ground. So we are between the hours of 10:30 to 12 a.m. So we are in the right place. You don't have to ask too much about what's going on here. They're showing that these hands are almost about to touch. See how the person on the ground up here, this hand? Like they can see each other's faces. So this is straight away someone has already fallen. And it looks like the friend almost was about to get them up, but you can't see the other half of them. So there's a good chance that somebody was probably standing on the other half of them. Well, I'm pretty sure we know that somebody was standing on the other half of them. All right, so thank you, Spirit, for getting us immediately there. I know it is right up the street, and it's still pretty fresh. It hasn't been a full week. So let's jump right in and clarify the energy of this card here. And to do that, I charged all of these cards yesterday in preparation for this read. All right, so this rocking back and forth is gonna get on my nerves. All right, Spirit, thank you. As you know, we are at the concert. We are inside of the Armory right now. We're between the hours of 10:30 p.m. and 12 a.m. The date is March the 5th of 2023. We're in the zip code of 14605. We're at the concert. The concert is wrapping up now, and people are starting to loiter and move towards the front door. All right. I was about to ask about this person on the floor. All right. So what came out is the Four of Pentacles. Let's have a look. All right. Thank you, Spirit. They're showing, like, this kind of looks like the Armory, too. The outside is castle-like this old brick building. But what they're showing me on this card is, even though you're in this big-ass building, excuse my language, kind of emotional. I'm kind of passionate about this story because it happened here. This one, even though this is this great big building, look at that little bitty door that everybody has to try to get through. So this card and this person on the floor energy is all about people trying to get through that little bitty door. Thank you, Spirit. Let's go on to the next card, shall we? The next card is the Ace of Wands. And this card here is about, it's about action. It's about action. I'm going to read out of the book for it because I want to say it's about forethought, but it's not. This is not the forethought card. But not only is it about action, they're showing that this gun looks like it's being cocked to be shot. But as we know, the police said they searched the armory and they looked all over the floor. They never found not one bullet or shell casing. So there was not a gun shot. But apparently there were thoughts of a gun being shot. So let's, I'm going to read the description for this particular card. Yep, energy and power. See the Ace of Wands. Energy and power. So yeah, there was a lot of energy and there was a lot of power being forced towards this little bitty door. But no one actually shot a gun. So let's see. This would be the moment that the Stampede started then. All right, thank you, Spirit. Let's get right into this. Because this is the point of the read. We want to see why did it start. All right. Ooh, you are right, Spirit. And to do that, we are going to use the spider deck. All right, Spirit. So we are between the hours of 10:30 p.m. and 12 a.m. We are at 900 East Main Street in Rochester, New York. We're in the zip code of 14605. All right, let's see what these are. I'm going to take all three of them because this is important. Okay, and straight away, this is a negative setup. 2 cards are positive and 1 card is negative. This is the positive one with the triangles at the top. Again, they're showing that little bitty doorway. This door and this door is the same door. So we have the little bitty doorway again. I guess the little bitty doorway is going to keep showing up throughout the read because that's what it's about. Everybody trying to get through that doorway. But other than the doorway, again, we have the 2 negative cards, which are disorganization and impractical. Like, again, with the little doorway, but you can see, like, the actual, I guess you can say the atmosphere or the environment that they were in was beginning to break down. And it was completely impractical to think that I guess you can have 5,000 plus people in a little bitty armory and something not go wrong. So all the energy and the power and everything that began after there was a thought of a gunshot was basically pure chaos with those three. All right, let's go to the last one. Oh, no, we still have one more. Let's go to this one. Okay, again, so we with the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is unnecessary violence or overkill. You're doing way too much. It's like if you're trying to kill a fly, but you throw something really big and hard at it, and then the fly flies away, so you don't even kill the fly, and you just broke something. All right, my buttons coming on buttons. The story got so much energy, it's trying to take me. All right. So again, I'm now seeing, they're showing me that the person at this point, the scene has deteriorated inside so much of the fact. So this is not about the people standing up here anymore. This is about this person on the floor has started to bleed from their face or from their mouth. So I guess someone has got their head stepped on right here. And people wonder why headliners don't come to Rochester. Well, I tell you what, it's going to be a very long time for anyone else comes back here. All right, Spirit, let's talk about the person who's gotten their head stepped on. I want to ask about the energy of the person who did it. Well, not the energy of the person, because there was a lot of people and there was a lot of different energies. But some people were saying that there was outright, people just willingly stepping on other people. All right, Spirits, you show me someone bleeding from the mouth on the ground in the armory. They've gotten their head or their neck stepped on. Tell me more about the energy of the person or the persons who were stepping. All right, I'm almost scared to turn this card over. It's going to be all bad. All right, the Ace of Swords. So they're showing us this open doorway. And now this actually looks like the armory doors because they're double doors that open up in the front. So again, they're showing us the open doorway. But in front of it is the, the raven. And it's sitting on a knife. And we got this little ribbon or whatever it is in his mouth, like it's blowing in the wind. But again, more or less, this was about people trying to get through this door. So they were still, even though they were stepping on someone's head, they were still just trying to get out of this door. And at this point in time, this card, I guess, is showing like this little purple ribbon could just about get out the door if only this one would if only the bird would let go of it. So it's kind of like an energy of almost about to get out the door, but not quite getting out. Or you just need one more thing to happen so you can get out. So the energy of the people that were actually stepping on other people was the energy of, I just want to get out of here right now. All right, the last card. Now this is the very first time that I have seen the energy of anybody connected to the armory, as far as anybody working there or a security guard or anything like that, or the police. So this is somebody who is connected to the event as far as organizing it or holding it. And they are seeing everything fall apart. You can't see it, but he's holding binoculars up to his face. And this is the Ace of Swords. You know what? This is the same card. It comes back out again. This was the Ace of Swords, the card with the window of just wanting to get out. So the Ace of Swords clarified itself with another Ace of Swords. So even though the people were trying to get out, the organizers and the police people seen everybody trying to get out. All right, so there it is. We have it. Because some people were saying there was like an evil, dark, demonic spirit moving around inside the armory when it happened. In actuality, people really thought they heard a gunshot. And everybody went crazy trying to get out of this little bitty door. Look how many times this little door shows up in this reading. There it is the first time it showed up. There it is the second time it showed up. There it is the third time it showed up. And there it is, it doubled down yet again with the double doors part, it showed up. So continuously, people just wanted to get out of that armory. I tell you what, I'm glad I didn't go. I'm very glad I didn't go. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because who knows what's going to happen next.